Welcome to Shoulda Dad Play, the show where dads like us review video games so that dads like you make informed purchasing decisions. Today we'll be reviewing Horizon Forbidden West. How's it going, everybody? My name is Paul Irizarry, and today I'll be reviewing Horizon Forbidden West on the PlayStation 5. But before we do, make sure to show us some support, man. You guys have been killing it. Dads, we are almost 1,000 dads strong on this channel, and we couldn't do it without your support. So if you like these reviews from this perspective, make sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe for even more video game reviews from dads for dads. Without any further delay, let's get right into it. And don't hesitate to drop a comment down below what you think about this game, because this game definitely is a big one to review. Alright, so Horizon Forbidden West is basically just an action role-playing game set in a post-apocalyptic world where humanity has regressed to tribal societies and robotic creatures dominate the land. There's a lot more that goes into it story-wise. Ideally, you have played the first game, Horizon Zero Dawn. This review, I'm not going to try to touch too much on that first game because we were trying to catch up and review that as well. But for this game, all you need to know is that in Forbidden West, Aloy embarks on a journey to the western regions of the former United States and uncovers a sort of mysterious blight that is destroying the environment and threatening humanity's survival. You'll encounter new tribes, dangerous machines, formidable enemies, and more throughout your adventure in this game. It is also a very long game too. For standards, it took me about maybe, I want to say 30 to 40-ish hours to get through. Again, it's pretty long, and difficulty does kind of scale a bit there. This quest that Aloy's on is driven by the need to find a way to stop the blight and save the world, kind of like right on the nose. But, you know, there is a malfunctioning AI named Gaia. I don't want to dive too much into the story and spoil too much, but there's some stuff in there, some themes that you kind of resonate with nowadays with the way we're going, the direction, you know, tech is going, and a little bit more of a tribal aspect, post-apocalyptic vibe as well. Again, reminiscent from the first game, but even more expanded further upon in this second one. Now, if we want to talk about, you know, controls and gameplay mechanics, this game again carries from the first one. You're basically the best way to explain it, it is an action adventure game. You do have a lot of skill tree upgrades that you can get, a lot of weapon upgrades, a lot of weapons you can find. You can craft items on the spot like ammo. You know, you kind of gather resources from this open world, because this is like, it's like a sandbox open world. It is an open world, but that sandbox vibe of, you know, go to this point here, complete this side mission, come get this unlockable over here, gather resources as you walk. That's the type of game you're getting into. So you can easily immerse yourself in this world. It's very beautiful. In terms of controls, it's really, it's pretty straightforward. You know, the buttons you'd expect do what they do. If you're expecting your triggers to aim and shoot, they aim and shoot. You know, if you're trying to, everything is like perfectly optimized in terms of how the controls operate, because there are a lot of features and a lot of controls here. From a dad's perspective, you know, you'll hold on to one button to bring up a weapon wheel, and you'll, you know, select your weapon or upgrade and craft on the go. You don't actually, you know, pause the game and go into a menu. It just slows time down while you're kind of navigating through. The game is very smooth as well. You know, I didn't notice any frame rate drops while I was playing through my tenure throughout the game. There is a lot in terms of like that skill tree that I was mentioning for the gameplay and mechanics. You can slow down time. You can make things blow up a certain way. There's a lot you can build Aloy, a lot of different ways you can kind of build Aloy. And the more you upgrade her, the more powerful she becomes, obviously. But, you know, there's a lot that goes into like that skill tree. And it's captivating. There's a way where it can be a lot, like overwhelming, but then there's also where there's a lot, but it's sustainable content. And in this case, I think it falls more towards that latter half. So if you're jumping into the game in terms of like ease of return to play, how easy it is to return to like drop this game and pick it up 2 months down the line, that's where it can get kind of difficult. So for instance, because there's so much involved with the story, with the world, the different tribes, the weapons you can use, how they operate, how to set traps, you know, how to craft on the spot, you know, the mechanics of slowing down time while you're gliding, taking control of a mechanical beast and, you know, using them to your advantage. There's a lot of mechanics built within the game that whenever you drop the game for like a month or two, again, this is catered more towards dads and people with less time on their hands to play these games. and you jump back into this game, so you drop it, jump back in, you can feel overwhelmed and lost if you've made enough progress to, let's say, drop the game towards the third act of the game, right? You drop the game, pick it back up at the third act, you're probably gonna have a little bit of a hard time trying to fall back into the string of things. However, that doesn't mean it's a bad game. It's just one of those features that I don't think necessarily is thought about much. We usually expect, this is your one game that you're gonna play through till the end. And in our perspective as dads, obviously it's a little bit harder to do so. So that's one thing I would point out. Now, there is also DLC. There's microtransactions in this game. There is a Burning Shores DLC that is great. It expands upon the story. It builds even more. You get more things to do, obviously. It is worth it. I'll just leave it at that because we're not reviewing the DLC. Just kind of want to add that into the review. So if you wanted to further expand the story of Horizon, you do have something that can maybe sustain you even further than what you would probably get from the base game. Now, in terms of graphics, this game is stunning. Sony pulled no punches. Not Sony, but, Guerrilla Games pulled no punches, and Sony and the PlayStation 5, and now PC too, for those of you that play on PC, are treated to a masterclass of graphics and fidelity, honestly. This game is amazing. Each cutscene looks great. The detail, the amount of detail on Aloy's face, and not just Aloy, but all these other character models, goes very well noticed. It does not go unnoticed. The environmental details, water, the sun, the way lighting reflects, the way the machines, their beams come out of their eyes, that you can kind of determine certain features from them and certain mannerisms. It's really captivating. It is great. One of the best so far on the PlayStation 5. Now, in terms of audio, just as great. If you play this game with a headset to try to not wake anybody up in the middle of the night, you will be rewarded with quality audio, and I mean quality audio. Again, there's a lot that makes this game very captivating. I do recommend it a lot. There are some flaws, right? So the only two flaws I'll give you on this game are going to be, one, that ease of return to play, the way I mentioned, and then the story. As good of a story as it is, towards the end of it, I felt like it was a bit dragged out in certain areas. There was a lot of areas in this story that I felt like we could have been one and done with this a while ago, but we're trying to add on to it. But other than that, it is a great story. It's not a knock to say it's a bad story. I just think it's overextended, it's say. So again, there's some areas as you progress through the story, I think everybody will be able to point them out as they go. You're kind of making your way through certain things in the story, certain, progress points. And to a certain extent, I was like, I think I'm done with this, right? But no, there was more. And that comment right there is what I'm trying to get at. Now, for the score of Horizon Forbidden West, us here at Dad's XP are going to give it a 9 out of 10. I think there's a little bit to knock off of the score for the game with that, the little bit of that story issue that I saw, or I personally experienced, just overextending its welcome a bit too much in certain places. And then that ease of return to play, because this is a dad's point of view perspective, I do want to keep that in there. That is something that you're just going to have to sit through the game and play through it entirely, or maybe just, if you're gonna drop it for every now and then, just maybe a week at a time. Don't drop it any further than that. You're gonna have a little bit of a relearning curve once you pick the game back up. But other than that, Horizon Forbidden West is a phenomenal game. It's a great game, highly recommended. If you have a PS5, if you have a PC that can run it, I would definitely recommend, as a dad, playing Horizon Forbidden West. Until next time, my name is Irizarry from Dad's XP. Thank you again for watching. Remember, we're almost 1,000 dads strong, so do us a favor and consider subscribing, liking the video. Let me know what you thought of Horizon Forbidden West in the comment section down below. Take it easy, and bye-bye.